count my payment and the whole schmear.
Right.
Only it was $29.89, and I thought that was close enough.
That's good.
What's that in the background?
Leave a check for you tomorrow with Jean.
Okay, and it's over at her house, honey.
Oh,
Okay,
thank you so much, Sharon.
you're welcome.
All right.
Bye.
All right, I think we're ready.
All right, guys, you know the rules. You're here till about 8:30. I'm gonna cut my mic and do other things. And I'll come back near the end of the meeting to shut the recording down, etc.
Thanks again,
Thank
John.
you, John.
Well, hello, everybody. How are you tonight? How was your Valentine's Day?
Hi, Manny. Happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah. Well, we got a full agenda tonight. Lots of cool stuff. So first, I got to get started with just latest news and updates, what's going on, a few of those, and then we'll get right into the first topic. So the first thing I heard of this month is that Amazon is going to raise their rates by the fact about $2 a month, I believe. I don't know if anyone's heard of that.
It's
And,
$20 a year.
I've heard of it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I think it's effective the end of March is when they're going to start that. That's what my news source says. So we'll see. You don't get anything brand new with that. You just have to pay more. And I don't know why they increased it. I guess, you know, with the inflation or whatever they're saying, increased shipping. Who knows what it is? But
Jeff
that's-
Bezos needs money.
What does that come out to a year?
It'll actually
20.
it'll be actually 22 a year if you go 12 months times $2 or 24, excuse me. So well, you know, they said it went from 119 to 139. So that doesn't make any sense either. That'd just be $20. So I don't know. Maybe it's just $20 a year. Maybe I got it wrong. So anyway, it's going up. All right, so that's the first thing in the news. Let me see what the second one is here.
Siri works with voicemail again.
Oh, Siri now works with voicemail again. The good news is you can call up your voicemail. The bad news is if you tell it to do that, it only plays the first one. I found that out this week with one of my students when we tried to play with that feature. I'm going to send a inquiry into Apple about that. Hopefully they'll get that fixed up in the next release. So it won't be because I'm telling them that, but if enough of us tell them, then maybe they'll get it fixed. So, and the problem is with that is in the past you could tell Siri to play your last 3 voicemails and it would play them. Now it only plays the first one and then it stops. So I don't know why that's not fixed yet. But before this, you couldn't even tell it to do that. It would say, I don't know how to do that at all. So they still got some work in that area. All right, so let me see what the other items are.
Facebook in decline.
So another thing, the past quarter or two, Facebook has been going into decline, which what that means is that they're not getting really any more new members, and a lot of members are dropping off. And there's a few reasons for that. You know, they've been out for a long time. They're getting kind of long in the tooth. They've had a real big problem with PR with their tracking practices, and the fact that Apple stopped them from doing that with all of their people, all of us, that gave them a huge, you know, billions of dollars of hits, decline in their ad revenue. And then of course you have new guys on the block, better competitors like TikTok out there. It's just taking it over. So the combination of those three, you know, is pretty much relegating Facebook to, I don't know, like older social media platforms that were out there like MySpace or Friendster from a long time ago. So that's the thing about Facebook. And then let's see what else we got here.
Bullet. Echo 3-way calling option.
Okay, someone asked last month about the Echo 3-way calling option. So I looked into that. I don't remember if that person's here who asked about it, but I'm gonna go ahead and address it. So the answer is yes and no. So when we talked about 3-way calling on the iPhone, you could be in a call, someone could call, you can merge them in, okay? You cannot do that on the Echo devices. Okay, but what you can do is you can set it up to where you can make calls. And the great thing here is you can set up groups of contacts, in essence, creating a multi-caller call, 3 or more groups. I think you can have up to 7 people in a group on a call. So it works that way, but it doesn't work if you happen to get a call coming in while you're on a call. So remember, and it's groups. You'll go into the app on your phone, the A-Lady app. You'll go to communications, and there'll be your contact list there, and then you can create groups from there, and then you just tell it to call the group, and then it'll make calls to all the people in the group. So any questions about the A-Lady stuff or anything I've said thus far? All right, we'll keep going then.
Bullet. Apple event.
Oh,
Actions
so
available.
and the last thing I believe on this list is that this coming month, March, Apple's going to have an event where they talk about products that are coming out. So that's going to be a big thing. They're expecting some new products and some nice upgrades. So tune in for that. It'll be, I think it's the 8th of March, if I'm not mistaken. If not, you'll hear all about it anyway. So, and that's kind of what's going on in the world of our little world of iPhones, Apple, and VoiceOver and all that good stuff. So,
On March 8th. Link. TH. Link. Listed.
okay.
Volume options.
Okay, the first thing I wanted to talk about, we have visual disabilities here. We can't see, but we have some of us, in fact, a lot of us, also have hearing impairments. And there are options for your volume for your phone. If you can't get it up high enough, you can, of course, you can always get a Bluetooth speaker. You can always get a Bluetooth headset, like an earpiece. But they also have apps out there in the App Store that will increase the volume of your phone. Now, when I did my initial search on these apps, they will boost volume, but I don't know how much because I didn't download any because all of them want money to do this. And I don't know why. That's still a mystery to me, but that's an option. They do have volume booster applications in the App Store to help you out. And of course, some of those applications will have things like equalization. So you can take out all the highs if the highs are screeching at you on your phone, or you can boost the bass or the mids or whatever it is. And that would then essentially increase the volume of the frequencies that your ear is more sensitive to. So that might be worth looking into if you're having trouble with the volume on your iPhone or iPad. And then the other thing too is if you are wearing hearing aids, you really want to explore maybe if there's a Bluetooth kind of connection with your phone, so that audio from your phone can be injected right into the hearing aid and then right into the ear canal instead of traveling through the air and bouncing off stuff, or you have to mix it with other noise, which is a real problem for people with hearing aids, discerning the foreground information from the background information. And if you do have hearing aids, always talk to your audiologist about the best option. I think that person could really help you, and you could really gain a lot from their experience, because Bluetooth is not brand new to hearing aids. It's been out for a long time. I don't know if it costs more. I don't know what it is, but I know that it does work. And I've had a few students who use that and they say it's excellent. All right, any questions about volume, or are we okay? Everybody okay? All right, let me keep going here.
Bullet. List. Adjusting different bullet. Volume lister.
Oh yeah, there's one more thing about volume. So on your phone, you have different volume levels for everything. Think of it like a volume mixer. So you have one slider for the master volume of the phone. You have one slider for the ringers. You have one slider for, I don't know, Siri, one for VoiceOver. So when you want to increase or decrease the volume of one of those sliders, so to speak, let's say Siri is not loud enough. So you get Siri talking, you ask her a question, and while she's giving you the answer, you start tapping on the volume up or volume down button, and her volume level will increase independently of any other volumes on the phone. like ringers and media and voiceover. Same thing with voiceover. You could do a screen read, and if voiceover is not loud enough or it's too loud, as it's reading, while it's doing it, start tapping on the volume level that you want to adjust it to, a higher one or a lower one, and that will be specific to that volume. If nothing's going on,
Manny,
go ahead.
Manny, I have one question.
Sure.
When you talk about tapping on the volume level, is that on the main screen?
Oh, yes, ma'am. It is the actual physical buttons. Let me get my phone up so you, I don't know if what anybody can see. I know you can't see it, Shirley, but I'm gonna, for the people who can. So I have my phone up in front of the screen. I hope you can see it. So it's facing you, and on your left, there's these two volume buttons on the very top left, and they're physical buttons sticking out the side of the phone. They're not on the screen, they're on the side. They're on the edge right here. Okay, so you'll have a volume down is the first one you encounter from the bottom up, and then a volume up, and then of course you got the whole mute switch thing, which I won't go into. But if you tap on either the volume down or the volume up while it's talking or while it's playing or whatever you're trying to adjust, or if you're in a call and you can't hear the person, you just tap on that volume button and it'll boost it as far as it can go. It'll just keep trying. And then of course it reaches a limit, then it doesn't do it any more than that. But that's how you manipulate the individual volume levels of whatever it is you want to hear.
Manny, may I ask you a question?
Yeah,
I
sure.
have a home pod. Can I have my phone speak on volume go to my home pod? And how would I do that? Because then it could be louder.
Talking about, oh yeah, the Apple HomePod. You know, I haven't played with that. You know, this might be one of those things that I need to take a note about, and instead of giving you a guess, get you a good answer.
Okay.
That'll be okay. So Nancy, I'll look into that because we're recording this, and when I go over this later, I'll jot that down as something to research.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Manny,
any more questions? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, it's Maggie. Oops. Hello?
Go ahead, Maggie. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. One thing I found with the Bluetooth, if you get your volume up, adjust the volume on the Bluetooth earpiece will give you added volume.
That's right.
If
That's
you
right.
need, yeah.
So
it'll push it.
She's absolutely right. So with a Bluetooth device, either one that's on your ear or a Bluetooth speaker, whatever the case may be, you then have a further control of the volume because you could boost it at the phone before it gets on the Bluetooth highway here and gets transmitted to the device. And then the device will have its own amplifier. So you may be able to boost it up a few more decibels, you know, especially with Bluetooth because they have their own amplifiers. So that's great. That's a good observation, Maggie. So, okay, any more questions on volume? All right, we're gonna keep on going.
Bullet. Hearing aids and Bluetooth. Google Flights. Actions available.
So I was gonna go over Google Flights. Is anyone interested in doing that? I know we've done it before. I think Barbara wanted to have me review it with the group again. So, so with Google Flights, you have to go to Safari and you go to the Google Flights website. And then when you get in there, and there's a lot of stuff on the screen, but the real important pieces are as follows. You got to put in the airport or the name of the city that you're traveling from, which you would type in Tucson, you get a list, and then you would pick Tucson International Airport, and then your destination. You could type in, I don't know, like El Paso, Texas, or ELP, that's the code for their airport, and then it'll figure it out. And then once you go to the date thing, you can tap on it and it'll pop up a calendar. And the calendar is really neat because what it does, it shows you a regular calendar for the month, for whatever date that's in there initially. So if you don't change anything, it'll bring up the current month. And beside each day, they have an amount the flight's going to cost. So you can kind of see at a glance when the cheaper flights are going to be. And then you can choose that departure. And then of course, the return, if you're getting a return, works the same way. You'll go in there and you will from the calendar choose the return flight. Of course, you'll get a list of flights that meet that criteria below that, and then there's further filtering. I mean, it'll take me 40 minutes to go through all the filters, but there's a lot of filters. You can filter by stops, by airline, and a few other things, by the amount of time in the air, this kind of stuff. So you would choose the flight, and then you would choose a returning flight, and then you would check out. And that's basically how it works.
Manny, it's
yeah.
Barbara here. One thing that I could not use the calendar. I had to actually type the date in.
I didn't
And that
catch that.
worked. You don't have to use the calendar. You can actually type the actual date as long as you have the slashes in between there.
Okay, yeah.
We also found that it's cheaper to book one-way flight versus booking round-trip flights. And we also found Google Flights to be $100 cheaper than Expedia or Travelocity.
Oh, that's good information. Wow. The one question I had about it, and I might be wrong, so don't quote me on this. The one question I had is, I never see any flights from Southwest listed.
It's
In the
not
Google-
on there.
Okay, so if you want to go Southwest, you have to go to their site.
Right.
Okay.
You have to go to their site.
And that makes a lot of sense to me because when you're booking in Southwest's site, you can book like a couple different price tiers, like a getaway kind of thing. And that doesn't seem to fit the model. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Yep, you're right, Manny. That is correct.
Yes, you can book a getaway and I'm not saying that's worse or better, but just bear in mind when you're looking for the cheapest flight, Google Flights is a good one, like Barbara said. But you may want to just double check with Southwest and see if any of those flights are cheaper or better or give you a better, a baggage rate that's better or no baggage rate, whatever that is. And you got to be a smart shopper, just like you do in a store when you're looking at items. You get the best one, the best value, So, but
Well,
Google Flights,
on Southwest, you don't pay for the bag.
oh, that's good. That's good.
Two bags fly free on Southwest. But many times, the other airlines are cheaper, even with the bag included.
Yes. So that's very smart, Barbara, to look at all the aspects because it's all money coming out of your pocket, no matter if it's going to a bag or to a seat, So that's a.
And then the other reason why you do one way, if you have the mileage, like we have it on all the cards, you have to have the right amount of travel points to book it. So if you book it one way, you've got enough travel points versus trying to book it a round trip.
Very good. Very good. So I encourage you to, if you're going to do any traveling, definitely check Google Flights. That is almost a must do. And if you think Southwest goes there, maybe just give them a check too and see if they can give you a better value, or Google Flights, whichever one gives you the best value is the one you should choose.
Or
obviously.
the one that has the right time.
That's right, and the right time. That's right. So thank you, Barbara. Appreciate that. Any questions on Google Flights or booking reservations? Oh, one more thing about Google Flights too. I believe you can also book other things in Google Flights like hotel room and cars and whatnot, just like any other site. So I haven't done that. I've only focused on the flights part of it. And like Barbara said, other competitors like Expedia and Kayak and these other ones that are out there, they'll allow you to do the same stuff, but you're probably not going to get a better rate than Google Flights. You're probably going to get the best rates there. So there you go. Okay, without further ado, let's keep going.
Let's start. Demo booking a flight. The absence of South AirDeck demo. Seeing AI.
Oh,
demo.
finally. So
Actions available.
this is one of the things I've been looking forward to. So I don't know if you guys remember that I mentioned last year in one of our classes that Apple was releasing these AirTags. locator devices, GPS locator devices?
Yes.
Well, I have one. And let me find it. That's funny, I can't find it. Here it is. So I'm going to describe what it looks like, and then I'm going to demo it, and then I'm going to give you all of the explanation. We'll have a little fun first with it. So I'm going to hold up the AirTag in front of me and show it to you. So it looks like this, for those of you who can see. It is about the size of a quarter. You know, if you look across it, the diameter of it is about the size of a quarter, maybe a little bigger. And the thickness is about 2/4, maybe 2/4 stacked. So imagine holding 2/4 together, and that's what an AirTag is. And what AirTags do is they're locators. So if you attach these to your luggage in an airport, or to, I don't know, like your keys or your wallet, all you have to do is ask Siri to find whatever you name this AirTag, and it will do it. And I'm going to do that now. I got this one, and I configured it in less than a minute. And I'm going to show you how to configure it. It's just like 2 steps. It's real easy. Okay. So I got it configured, and what I want to do is I want to show you how it tells you where things are at, because right now it's not doing anything. It's just sitting in my hand. I'm going to grab my phone, and
7 p.m. Alert. Your Apple ID and phone. Okay.
alrighty, let me make sure my volume on my phone is up a little bit.
Bard Mobile. Bard Mobile.
Can you guys hear this?
Bard Mobile.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I can hear it.
Okay. So here is the tag. So we're going to pretend that it's hooked to my keys and they're lost. So just imagine this being hooked to a keychain. And I'm going to find it now. Like say I can't find my keys and it's with my keys. All I got to do is this. Hey Siri, find my keys.
Looking for Manny's keys. It's nearby. Pinging Manny's keys now.
You guys hear that?
It's a what?
Yep.
That's the
DDD.
signal that, yep. So they're real handy, and you can have a bunch of them if you want. And what you do is you buy these fasteners.
Tuesday.
Hang on. You buy these fasteners, and they'll fasten to a keychain, or they'll fasten to a wallet, or you can just leave them as is and just stick it in the middle of your clothes and luggage. You know, they're pretty tough. They're made out of metal, and they're pretty tough, but I wouldn't step on them with a boot or something. But they should be able to survive anything. I think the real cool thing is if you're traveling and you have your luggage, when it comes around, when you're on the carousel, you can just have it beep out, or you can use, there's another app on here where you can precise locate it. So they're really cool. And to set them up, all you do is you order it, get it in. They're like $30 for one, or $100 for 4. And as soon as you got to make sure your Bluetooth's on your phone, but as soon as you pull the tab out of it to connect the battery, you get a self-guided process where you name the tag like keys or whatever, or custom name. And then you hit continue, and then you're done. Then you just go to the next one, or you attach it to your keys or whatever. And it seems to work great. So that's what they look like. Just let you know, just a little round coin size kind of device. And highly recommended if you lose your keys like I do. It's a real
Manny,
problem sometimes when I leave the keys in the file cabinet.
what does the
What's that,
fastener
Barbara?
look like? So you can clip it on things.
Okay. So when you buy these things from Apple, these AirTags, they don't come with anything but the AirTag. So a fastener for, let's say, keys would look just like a metal key ring fastened to a little thing that goes right around the unit. It looks like just a regular keychain to me. It doesn't look any different. And you can put all your keys on the ring, and this thing will hang below like in a little bitty leather pouch or a silicone or whatever you get.
So
And
you
those
order
fasteners-
that the same time that you order the AirTag?
You can order it, or you can get them at different times, whatever you like. You can go to Walmart and get them there.
Oh, they have them
AirTag.
there?
Yeah. And, like I got a fastener for my keychain, and I don't have it with me. And I paid like 15 bucks for it, but it's leather. So if I wanted to pay like $5 or $6, I would have bought the silicone one or the plastic one. But if you're going to spend 25, 30 bucks on one of these, you might as well just put it in something that's solid, that won't, that'll hold it and won't drop it, or you want to get a good fastener. And the same thing with wallets. There's special fasteners for your wallet or your purse, or you can use the ring fasteners on anything. You can attach it to anything. They're really interesting little items. So, and what powers them is a watch battery inside. It comes with one already, obviously at that price, and they should last a very, very long time, unless you're always pinging it all the time. It should just pretty much be there.
They're using AirTag for many different things. The police recommend that you have an AirTag in your car, so if your car gets stolen, you'd know where it is. And
That's
now they're
right.
talking about clipping an AirTag onto your dog's collar, and you would
I
know
was
where
going to
your
mention
dog
that
is
too.
at
Yes,
all times if they get loose.
they sell special fasteners for your pets, like a cat collar or a dog collar, because these things aren't heavy at all. It's not going to hurt them at all to put it on there. You can put it on your animal, and you can find your animal. You can
Right,
call
especially if
this
they
thing
get
Rex.
lost or get out. Or,
That's right. I mean, you could give this thing any name. You could call it Fido or Rex. You could say, "Hey, find Fido," and then Fido will start beeping. So it might freak the dog or cat out a little bit, but at least you'll be able to hear it and find them.
What's the range?
That's the great part. I was just getting into that. So if you are within, I believe, 300 feet, Bluetooth will find it real quick. If you left your keys in a restaurant halfway across town, you'll have to go to the Find My app and do it there. So there really is no range. It's wherever the internet is, or wherever it can get to the internet. Just like when you lose your phone in a restaurant and you use the Find My service, it works as well with these. And that's why these are so good versus the Tiles. Like the competitor is Tile, but I don't think, unless I'm mistaken, you can register Tile devices in your Find My, but I'm not sure about that. But these are integrated and they're tied to your account at Apple. So Apple knows this is mine, and Apple will know if I put this in someone's pocket to try to track them, that person will know that my AirTag is close to them. You can also set a notification on your phone or tablet that when you leave the vicinity of your AirTag, let's say you go outside, that your phone or your iPad will start buzzing and saying, "Hey, your AirTag's still in the house." In case you left it in your keys or your wallet, that option is there to turn on too. So they're real handy for that kind of stuff. So
Manny? Oh, Manny, it's Maggie.
Hi, Maggie.
Hi. I used an AirTag on my checkbook because I'll put it down and I don't always know where it is. And you can fasten them to your checkbook, which works really well if you've got a bag of stuff.
Yeah, as we well know, being visually impaired, a lot of us here, when we lose something, it's a nightmare to find stuff. So if you have an audio thing that helps you zero in on it, why not? That just helps us, get through those problems. I can't tell you how many times I left my keys in the file cabinet and I'm going somewhere and I can't find my keys. And I completely forgot that they're still sitting in the file cabinet. Now, with this AirTag, if I can't find my keys right away, I just go to my phone and say, "Where are my keys?" And they'll start, blaring out over there and go, "Oh yeah, it's on the file cabinet." And I don't have to go look through the whole house and the dirty clothes hamper to find my pants and see if the keys are in there still or something. So, real lifesaver. Any more questions about that? All right. So that's my AirTag demo. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. Okay. Let's see. Next one.
Seeing AI recognize photos.
Okay, so Seeing AI, they did some updates on that. Without going into all of the little details, they basically made the engine a little better. They made it a little faster and they fixed a few bugs. But the thing that I really like, and I don't know if it's brand new to this version or not, is that you can send a photo, like in your photo album, to Seeing AI, and it will recognize it. Has anyone ever done that with Seeing AI? Okay.
No.
So if you have a photo, and let's say you can't see it real well, you know you took it, or someone took a picture for you, you can go into your photo album and find a picture, and then it will then try to describe the picture using AI. So let me do that. Let me demo that for you here. So I'm going to open this up.
7:09 p.m.
All right.
Calendar, Tuesday.
So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my photos. So that's the first thing I'm going to tap on.
Photos. Double.
And
Photos.
I don't know where I'm
Add.
going. I'm just going to pick one.
Favorites. One favorite. Favorite.
Is the phone too loud or is it okay?
It's okay.
It's okay.
Okay, great. So I got one favorited picture here, and I know what this picture is, okay? So I'm going to tell you right away so you can compare that with what Seeing AI says it is. So it's I took a picture of a watch sitting on a table, okay? So it's like a regular wristwatch flattened out with the face up, and it's sitting on a blue cloth on a white table, okay? Now, I wish that Seeing AI could recognize all that, but let's see what it does. So what you have to do is you open the image up first. So I'm gonna go here.
Live photo. Favorite. Live favorites.
And what you need to do is go to the share option. So it's gonna be down at the bottom left. So I'm just gonna put my finger down there because I can kind of see it a little bit.
Toolbar. Share.
And that's what it looks like to those of you who can see the screen. And then I'm going to double tap on that.
Check. One photo selected.
Now, when you share something, what you're really doing is you're sharing the data of whatever it is to something else. And that's what we're doing here. We're not going to be sending a picture to Seeing AI to keep over there. All we're doing is sending the picture data. It's going to analyze it. So we're sharing, it's really sharing of the data, not the actual picture is going over. So I need to go down the menu a little bit. I won't bore you with all the options, but let me get down to the option that we're looking for. So let me just scroll down the thing here.
AirDrop. Button. Page 2 of 4. Use this wallpaper. Save as video. Copy iCloud link. Adjust data. Adjust look. Create watch. Save to files. Assign to contact. Print. Button. Recognize with Seeing AI. Button.
So Seeing AI has installed this menu item on anything that it can recognize, like an image. So I'll let it say it again so you can hear it.
Recognize with Seeing AI.
Because
Button.
yeah,
The option is recognize with Seeing AI. So I'm going to do that now. I'm going to double tap on that.
Recognize with Seeing AI. Cancel. Processing.
Take your time. Okay.
Text 11:12:1:10 time. Optics. To my.
Okay. So what it did, and I'm going to skip the gobbledygook because remember the watch face has numbers. So I got a bunch of numbers on here, 1 through 12, but that doesn't make sense. Let's get down to the part where it describes the image. So let me get down there. So.
Text 11:12:1:10 rows 1 to 2 of 3.
All right. So I think it's right here.
Scene. A watch on a person's leg.
All right. So it said it's on a leg, not on a table, but it said it's a watch, and that's the important thing. So you can do that with your images. You can have an image recognized to varying degrees of accuracy, and Seeing AI has that ability. So I just wanted to show that. Any questions about Seeing AI or its abilities, or what? You have any questions at all about it?
Manny, suppose this Nancy, suppose it was a photo of a friend and with blonde hair and blue eyes. Would it be able to say there's a woman in the photo with blonde hair and blue eyes and she's wearing a red dress? Would
You
it
know,
be
I
able
wish I
to
had a
say
photo
that?
like that. Don't tell Patty, don't have a photo like that. So to test that on, but I would have to test that independently. That's one of the ones that have to put a pin in and try it and maybe announce it next time. Say, hey, you know, Nancy asked this and this is what it gave us, you know.
Cool.
So I don't know. Again, this is not an exact
Manny,
science. Yeah.
Manny, this is
Yes.
Annie. Are
Hi, Ann.
our apps being updated automatically? I used to seem to have to get permission for the apps to be updated, but I haven't had to do that for a long time.
No, you give it implicit permission when you install it. The only ones that it should be asking about is when Apple releases a new system update. It'll say install now or download and install. It'll ask you that. But the apps
Alert
themselves,
from tips. See what's new in macOS
So-
Monterey.
so the thing is, I don't know what that was. The thing is, apps made by, the apps on your screen, those are updated by the people who produce the apps, by the engineers or the team or the company that made them. And they can come at any time, you know, as soon as they're flagged to update, they'll just do it. And they'll do it
Good.
without you knowing. So there usually isn't a problem with security on that because it's hard to explain how this is set up, but these apps are kind of isolated from everybody, isolated from each other, and isolated from the system. So if there's a problem with that app, it usually is just in the place where the app lives. So that's why Apple lets them update it. You know, of course, updates are reviewed by Apple before they're released. So that's the other thing. They have a big crew there at Apple that review all of the updates from all of the apps that are sitting in the App Store. They spend a lot of money and time doing that to keep the App Store safe. So you don't have to worry about that because Apple does that for you. They worry first and they make sure no bad content gets in. So
Well, good. Easier
now
for
that
them
doesn't
to,
mean, what's that?
it's easier for them to just go ahead and update it than for me to always have to
Yeah,
get
yeah.
permission.
And that's why the default setting on your iPhone is set up to where it automatically does that. And you know, on that note, whenever there's a system update, 99% of the time, whenever they tell you it's there, you should update because they usually update mostly because of new security threats. And you don't want to fall victim to that. So let's say some crazy programmer out there finds a way to hack into your iPhone somehow. Apple figures out how to fix that. They release that in an update. So you want to get that update there as soon as possible so you're not a statistic, you know, digital statistic. And you can count that the Apple updates are usually okay. They make mistakes sometimes, but they're not showstopper mistakes, like you can't use your phone. They're just annoyances like the voicemail thing, or before when we couldn't send email or whatever it was with Siri. Those are just behavior things that they missed and they will fix. But your phone will still work fine. So I've been doing it that way. So I haven't had a problem there. So any
Okay.
questions about that? All righty then, we're going to keep going.
Safari, using quotes in a search.
Okay, so Barbara asked me to review this with you. I think we touched on it once or twice last year. Whenever you are searching in Safari, or actually any browser, could be Google Chrome, it could be Microsoft Edge, it could be any browser, whether it's on your phone or on your computer. When you put words into a browser like C spot run, okay, it's going to look for occurrences of C and occurrences of spot and occurrences of run. And if the thing that it finds has those three words in there, it'll be on the list of things that you can click on and go see. If you wanted it to only bring back results that have the phrase see spot run and only in that order, you got to put double quotes around that phrase and it'll treat it as a single word when it looks up. So if you do that, if you do a double quote, C spot run, and then a double quote at the end, and you hit search, it's only going to return results that have the full phrase C spot run. And if there's a result out there that only has the word C in it, but not spot and run, that will not be returned. So it's a great way to refine your searches at the search level. You know, instead of trying to filter it later down the road, you could filter it out right there. And there are other switches that I don't remember offhand. I'd have to go look them up, but there's some dashes and some other switches you can use to do fancy things on searches. And if you guys want, I can look into that and have that ready for next month, if that would be something.
Well, I can answer the one. A minus means that that word won't be in there. And so
Okay,
the
great.
example they give is blind minus windows, so you don't get window blind.
Okay. That's good. So like Barbara said, if you're looking for anything with the word blind in it, but you don't want the results coming back with blind and window in the result, you say, and I just filter those out. You put the minus window after the word blind, and anything with window in it will be rejected, won't be returned to you to see. And that's kind of a good way of grouping or getting the results you're looking for, instead of going through miles of results that don't make any sense, you know. So thanks, Barbara, for that. Appreciate that. Okay, let's see what else we have here.
Spelling, definitions, synonym.
Okay, so I don't think I've gone over this before. I think I've talked to Barbara about this, but you can use Siri for language things. And let me just give you some examples. So if I want to spell a word, I just tell Siri to do it. So I'm gonna have it spell a word for us. Hey Siri, spell the word cynical.
Cynical. C-Y-N-I-C-A-L.
So I can spell it. If I want to know what cynical means, then the verb is to define. Okay?
7:21 p.m.
Oh, sorry. Hey Siri, define cynical.
Cynical means believing that people are motivated by self-interest, distrustful of human sincerity or integrity. Do you want to hear the remaining one?
No. Okay. And then lastly, for this demo, if you need like other words for the same word, those are called synonyms. And we used to go to thesauruses to find the synonyms for a word. But you can just ask Siri what for the synonyms. So I will go, hey Siri, synonyms for cynical.
Synonyms of cynical are misanthropic, misanthropical, and pessimistic.
So there's 3 of them. There's probably more than that. I don't know where it sources its information, but at least it can help you with language.
7:22 p.m.
Sorry.
Not found.
At least it can help you with language and get you, if you got a problem spelling a word, let's say you're writing it out and you're not dictating it, or you need to make sure that that word fits, you can use the synonyms to get the right word that you want. Cynical may not have been a good example. There was only 3 synonyms for it, but there's some words that have a bunch of synonyms. So you can always find the right word that you're looking for. Okay, so any questions on that? Alrighty, so let's keep
He
going.
can help with math too.
That's right, that's very good. So if you're in a restaurant and let's say you need to determine a 15% tip, you could just ask Siri. You could just say, hey Siri, what's 15% of 3235?
15% times 3,235 is 485.25.
I asked it wrong. Let me try that again. Hey Siri, what is 15% of 32.35?
15% times 32.35 is 4.8525.
So it's $4.85. I don't know if it works if I say dollars. I could try that. So
7:23 p.m. Try again.
Hey Siri. What's 15% of $32.35?
I found an answer. It's displayed on your iPhone.
So it doesn't give me the number there. And I don't know what it's displaying. I could just,
Minimal currency form. Plus 0.25
Um,
cents.
Manny, Manny,
0.6
yeah,
when you
yes.
ask Siri a question, you have to be more direct. I found that she has issues with answering questions like the one you one you just asked.
Mhm.
It needs to be more direct. more
Yes,
succinct.
there's a combination of words that you can use that will get you the tip amount for $32, and I just don't remember them. So I just use the straight math numbers. I go, what's 15% of 32.35? So it knows I'm talking 32.35 and not 3,235.
Correct.
So again, as smart as these phones are advertised to be, they're not that smart. You have to really
No.
tell them exactly what you mean. So,
Yes.
yeah, thank you, Shirley. Okay, so let me see what we got here.
iPhone audio description setting.
Okay, Barbara asked me to go over the audio description setting in iPhone. So before I get there and show you how to turn that off or on, because that's what it is. Audio description is I'm sure most of you heard this. I'm just going to repeat it anyway. That's a secondary track that has information about what's going on the screen that's not being conveyed through the voices. So facial expressions, maybe looking away or furrowing the eyebrows or whatever it is. You won't know that unless it is described to you. So the way audio description works is if the iPhone encounters a video that has a secondary audio description track, and you have this turned on, that track will automatically play. And the reason I'm giving you this whole definition is because it should not be mistaken from the Netflix setting or the HBO Max setting. So you go in there and you set it in those apps. You can say, make sure and include that secondary audio track when the movie's played on my iPhone. So Netflix or whoever will make sure that the secondary audio track, if it's available, will come down with the movie. Your phone's audio description setting will intercept that and say, oh, we got to play that track beyond the normal track of the dialogue in the movie. So if you have a movie that you're watching in Netflix and you haven't turned on the audio description feature in Netflix, you're not going to get the movie described because the secondary audio track will not be included when it gets to your phone. So you got to have two switches, one on the phone and then one in the app to make sure that that secondary audio track exists so it can be spoken. So that is under
7:27 p.m.
That is under,
Photos.
let me see here. So we go to settings and then accessibility.
Settings. Setting. Bluetooth. Row 4 to 14 of 100. Display. Home screen. Accessibility.
Accessibility.
Accessibility features help you.
I believe it's in this menu here. Let me just go look here.
Spoken content. Apple TV remote. Keyboard. Hearing device. Sound recognition. RTTs. Audio/visual. Subtitles and captioning. General. Guided access. Siri. Accessibility. For app settings. For app set. Accessible. Siri.
Where is it?
Guided access. General. Subtitles and captioning. Button. Audio/visual. Button.
I think it's there.
Audio. Heading. Headphone accommodations. Background sounds. Off. Place background sounds. Mono audio. Make a left and right. Phone noise cap. Headphone notif. To protect your balance. Left right stick. Adjust the audio volume balance. Visual. LED flash for.
I forgot where it was. Hang on a second.
It's under voiceover. It's
I'm
under
sorry?
voiceover. Under
Tell me that again.
voiceover.
It's under voiceover. I'm sorry. Yeah, I knew it was in there somewhere. Okay. Sorry about that, guys.
Settings. Setting. Audios.
First thing to go is your memory when you get old.
Button.
Let's see here. So voiceover. Let's see here.
Screen time. General. Button. Rows 1 to 10. Rows 1 to 6 of 1. Airplane mode. Off. Rows 4
No,
to
go
14
to
of
accessibility and then voiceover.
accessibility. Accessibility features help you customize your iPhone for your voiceover. Voiceover. On. Speech. Braille. Voice. Verbal. Audio. Command. Active. Rotor. Rotor act. Type. Quick settings. But navigation. Navigate. Large cursor. Caption pen. Double tap timeout. Double tap cap. Large cursor. Navigate images. Navigation. Quick settings allows you to act. Quick settings. Typing. Rotor actions. Rotor.
Are you on a different upgrade than I am?
Let me make sure. Hang on.
Commands.
I mean, I forgot where it was at too. I thought it was just under accessibility. Let me just search for it. Barbara tells me use a search, so I'm going to do that now. Let's go
Hey,
there.
you can hit the search button and settings. Yeah.
Settings. Setting. Access.
This is what happens when I think I know everything and then I find out no, it's been moved or my memory shot or something. So let me just search for audio description here in the search bar.
Search. Search field. Search field.
Audio description.
Inserted audio description. Search results. Audio descriptions. Accessibility right arrow audio descriptions.
Oh, I was in the right place. I just went past it. Okay, so my memory isn't that bad. It's my fingers don't work right.
Audio description. Audio.
Okay.
Audio descriptions. When available. Automatically play audio descriptions.
So that's where it's at. It's
Where
under
is it at?
Double tap.
settings, accessibility, and then audio description. It's right in the front door. I was in the right place. I just skipped over it going too fast. So, and it's just a toggle on or off. That's all it is. It's nothing more than that.
Where is the search and settings? I don't remember
In
that.
the front door of settings, above your name. So if you see your name on the top of the screen, or you can touch the
Okay.
top of your screen, and your name.
Okay,
It's right on top.
I see it. I never paid any attention to it.
So what you can do is you can open that for editing, like you put focus on the search field and double tap to open it for editing. Then you can use a 2-finger double tap and then dictate what you're
Yes.
looking for. And then the search results will come up underneath it. That's how I found audio description.
It's right
Sorry for
there.
the,
I never paid any attention.
Wow, she learned something.
I did.
See, it was worth the price of admission today. So there it is.
Well worth it.
All right, so let's go to the next thing. Let's see here. What do we got?
Review deleting and purging email.
So Barbara asked me to go over deleting and purging email. So before we do that, let me make sure that we're clear on what that means when you do that. So when you get an inbox, when you go to your inbox and you want to delete some email, one or more emails, okay? When you do that, when you use the delete option, you're not actually removing it. You're not getting rid of it. You're moving that email item from your inbox and you're moving it to trash. Just like the recycle bin on your computer, okay? It's the same kind of thing. If you want to purge that email forever from your computer, you then got to switch to your trash box, your trash place where you have all of your trash, and then you got to delete all the trash, like take the trash out, so to speak. Once that's done, it's gone. So it's always a 2-step process. So let me go through it. Maybe I have better luck with this than the audio description here. Let me see here. Hey Siri, open mail.
Mail. Mailboxes. Back button. Unread. Amazon.com. Delivered. Your
Okay, so let's say I want to delete that one. So we'll just talk about one email at a time. If you guys want, we could delete a few using, that's just extra steps, but I wanted to get the concept to you. So I'm going to delete this Amazon email. So what you do is you take a single finger and you swipe up, okay?
delete.
And then delete option's the first one. Then you double tap the screen.
Deleted. Trump social.
So you delete that. And then now we need to go to the trash box, okay?
Mailboxes. Back button.
So the back button on the very top left is how you get to your mailboxes. So we're gonna go there.
Mailbox.
And I'm gonna eyeball it real quick and get down to trash, so you don't have to hear all of my box names. Let's see if I can see it here.
Inbox. Drafts. Draft. Sent. Junk. Trash.
Right there.
33 unread messages.
There's trash.
Swipe correct messages. Amazon.com.
There's the one I just deleted. Amazon. It's right there. It's at Amazon.com. Now, if I want to get rid of that, finally, really delete it, not just move it to another place. You delete it from the trash folder, and then it's gone all the way. So I'm going to do that. Same thing applies if you just do a single finger swipe up.
Deleted. Total one.
So that's how you do that. And if you do multiples, it's just a matter of going to edit and choosing either tapping on the ones you want to
Select
delete
all.
or doing select all, and that'll purge everything. So and this works on other email clients too, like Outlook. If you delete an inbox item in Outlook, it doesn't get rid of it. I mean, unless you configure it to do it that way. But what it does, it throws it in trash, and then you got to go to trash and empty the trash. It's the same kind of deal. So it gives you a last ditch save, just in case you deleted it by accident, you can take it back out of the trash. So, any questions on that?
So if you want to delete everything in your trash, you hit the edit and then select all.
Yeah, let me demonstrate that. That's a good one, Barbara, because most people when they go to the trash, they're not going to delete just one. They're going to delete everything. So at the very top of your trash box to the right, there's a button up there called Edit. Let's see if we can find it.
Message, search, trash, search, edit, button.
Edit button. So I'm going to hit Edit.
Double tap.
Messages.
And then on the left side on top, you have this Select All option. If you do not want to select all, you can choose individual ones and tag them individually. But like I said, most people who are going to empty the trash will empty the whole thing and not leave stuff in there. So you want to choose the Select All option, which is the very first button on the screen. So I'm going to go up there. See.
Search. Dip
Double
trash.
tap.
Select all. Button.
I'm sorry, what was that? Okay. So I'm going to select all.
Deselect all.
And of course, if you change your mind, you can deselect all. So that button changes its name depending on the state of it. And then down at the bottom, you can just bring your finger up from the bottom because they like to put controls on top and controls on the bottom to make us keep jumping around. I don't know why they do that. But we come up from the bottom and we'll hit some toolbar.
Toolbar. Mark. Button.
So we don't need to mark them. We've already got them all marked.
Move. Button.
We definitely don't want to move them out of trash.
Delete.
And then that's your button, delete. If I hit that, all the ones that are selected are going to be gone. So let me do that.
Delete alert. Delete all. Button.
Of course, you get a confirmation just in case. So I'm going to go ahead and do that.
Delete all. Button. Toolbar. Compose. Button.
And
Double tap and hold to bring up drafts.
now it says no mail. It took a while because I had a lot of trash. So now it says no mail in my trash folder. It's ready for brand new trash. Okay. So any questions about that? All right. Let's see what's next here. So another one of my favorite things to do is I like these demonstrations. I like to talk about stuff, but I love doing demos. And I did one in November, but we only had Annie and Patty in that class. It was kind of a thin class. So I want to do it again for the big group. And for those of you, have you ever heard of Be My Eyes or Ira? These apps that connect you to people on the other side and they help you recognize objects. So
I've used Be My Eyes.
So I'm
This
going to
is
demo
Nancy.
Be
I've
My
used
Eyes.
Be My Eyes.
So with Ira, Ira is just like Be My Eyes, but I think there's a cost associated with Ira after so many minutes. I haven't tried to use the service, so I can't say that it's good or bad. But I know that Be My Eyes hasn't charged me anything yet. But of course, I haven't used it that much either. But the times that I have used it,
You
has
can
been
use
really good.
Ira for free for 5 minutes.
Okay, that's it there. Yeah. Yeah, in fact, we talked about that earlier, Barbara. That's right. Yes. So what I'm going to have the lady or the guy, whoever answers, recognize is I've got these three markers. And I'm going to try to use my eyes and tell you there's a red one, a blue one, and I think that's green. I'm going to have the lady help me select the blue one. I'm going to put them on my desk and I'm going to call them. And then I'm going to ask her if she can tell me which one is the blue one. I'll pick up the one of them and she'll tell me if it is or not. Now they can also do things like read cans, nutrition labels. However, I would not have them read your financial statements or anything with your personal information on there because these are people out there. They're do-gooders, but you don't want to risk your personal information. So just objects and things that are not sensitive to read. Okay, that's I think the best way to use this service. So
But you can also use them to help you find like an elevator button or where the reservation desk is somewhere as well.
absolutely. Barbara's exactly right. And Patty has used them for that too, to find places. So I'm going to put these down and I'm going to give them a call. Well, actually, I'm going to open the app up. I don't call them. The app contacts one for me. And then you guys can listen in to my little back and forth with these guys. You can hear them do it.
Settings.
Hey Siri.
Double tap to open.
Hey Siri. Open Be My Eyes.
Be My Eyes. In progress.
Okay.
News and stories.
Okay, I don't know what all this is about. I'll try to skip through this real quick.
Would you like to receive our monthly new features? Community call, news and podcasts and updates include, yes, not now. Button.
So we're going to go not now because we're in the middle of the class.
Not now. Not now.
All right, so the interface of Be My Eyes has a big, huge area, big old button about the size of the screen. And that button says,
call a volunteer button.
You can call a volunteer, or if you're on the other side of it, if you're a sighted person, you have this a
specialized help button.
Oh, maybe not there. Well, you can either use the app or you can help other people. But we're going to go ahead and call a volunteer. So let me do that.
Call a volunteer button. Call a volunteer.
So voiceover diminishes because the speaker is taken over by the phone call. So they're trying to find the first available caller. I can barely hear it talking.
Connected. Hello.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good. I'm of course I'm visually impaired, and I need to find something on my desk. I have some markers, and I want to make sure I get the blue marker out. Can you help me with that?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, let me see if I can get the phone around there. Let me know if you see the markers anywhere.
Okay. Can you lift the phone up a little bit? Oh, I see the markers.
Okay.
The blue one is right there.
Okay, I'll grab one. Is that one?
The blue one's yeah, no, the blue one's in the middle. So the next one.
The next one over? Okay, let me try that. This is the blue one here? Okay. What's the other color?
The one you picked up before is green, and then the one that's still down there is red.
Okay, great. So I'll separate this blue one. Okay, thank you very much. That's what I needed to do.
No problem. You have a lovely night.
You too. Take care. Bye.
End call. Alert. Are you sure you want to disconnect? Yes, but Be My Eyes.
Okay, so that's basically the gist of Be My Eyes. And that lady was kind of, I don't know if you heard the lady at all, but she was pleasant and she got me the blue marker. So any questions on Be My Eyes? All right, let's keep going.
Contest.gov. Link.
Okay, so another one that Barbara wanted me to share with you guys, actually one that should be shared anyway, is this covetest.gov. I think the government is allowing you to get COVID testing kits for free just by going onto their site and asking for it. I don't know, do you have any more on that, Barbara, or is that basically the gist of it?
That's it. You get 4 of them.
Okay. All right, so what I'm going to do,
Settings. Double tap apps with Be My App, closing Be My App, mail, closing mail, closing settings, closing photos,
Okay.
VLC, calendar, Tuesday.
so I'm going to go to Safari and I'm going to type in Cove Test. I think it's covetest.gov. So let me
COVID.
do,
covidtest.gov.
oh, COVID test, thank you.
I've received them.
Thank you, Annie. Annie, you've helped me more than once tonight. I appreciate that.
Well, you've helped me, so that's fair.
Safari address.
Okay, so the address bar is usually on top. If your address bar is on the bottom, you can click on this button here. We're going off a little tangent before we do this. Little button over here.
Address. Microphone. Address.
There's a page options button, which it's there. You click on that, and then there's an option to move the bar back up to the top, the address bar. If your address bar is on the bottom, of course. Now, I've moved mine to the top because it was on the bottom when they did the 2 updates ago. So I moved it back. So just to let you know that. So I'm going to put in covidtest.gov in here.
Address. Search or enter address. Text field is editing. Search or enter website.
I don't think I can dictate that because what it's going to do, it's going to put COVID and then space and then test.gov. And I don't know if it'll spell the dot out or if it'll actually put a period. And would have to go back and monkey with the address anyway. So I'm just going to type it in, and the voiceover's on. I'll just find the C.
V C address O V D
COVID and then test.
T E S T period cover tab G O
V
V
and then search
go
or go.
web page loaded. Cover test page settings button.
So let's see if we're in the right place.
Cover test button settings more web. Did you mean open in double quotation mark http covidtests.gov free at home COVID-19 tests.
That must be it there. Okay.
Covidtests.gov logo. Page settings button.
So give it a second here to come up.
Web page loaded. Get free at home COVID-19 tests. Heading level 1.
So
Main.
let's find where we get those. So we go over here.
Every home in the U number sign for free at home COVID-19 tests. Orders will usually ship in 7-12 days. Order your tests now so you have them when you need them.
Okay.
Order free at home tests. Link.
I think that's the link we go to.
Order free at home tests.
Yes, that's
Link.
it. You put your name
And once
and
that page
address
finishes loading,
in.
that clicking noise means the page is still loading. That's why we're waiting.
It's a very simple site. You put your name and address in and say
Page loaded.
something, send.
Okay, let's take a look. I think that's exactly the way it's set up. You're right. So let's go there.
For free at home tests bullet. Limit of 1 order per residential address. Bullet. 1 order include number sign for individual rapid antigen COVID-19 bullet. Orders will ship free. Fill in this form with your contact and shipping information to order your test. COVID-19 note. Image of tests is only representative due to high demand. Place your order now and it will ship as soon as 1. Contact information.
So
Heading
yes,
Level 2.
and he's right. There's a contact information section. So we'll go there.
Contact information for the person placing the order. Star first name. Text field required.
So you
Doc?
fill the format,
Enter first name.
you fill the format, then you hit the button, and basically the test will be on their way. They're going to ask for your address and all this good stuff. So if you're worried about testing, I would definitely sign up and get them. Anything to add to that, Barbara, about the COVID test or anything else?
Well, you can also do it with Siri. Did you want to show that also?
Oh, you mean look it up with Siri? Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, because
Yeah,
I didn't know how to
absolutely.
do that either.
I did it the hard way, but Barbara's right. You can do it the other way too with Siri. So let me close this up and we'll do the same thing, but with Siri. Okay.
App switcher. Safari. Safari.
So the way you do it with Siri, it's all in the way you phrase it, just like Shirley said before. So what I'm going to tell it, I'm going to say open website covidtest.gov. It's going to give me a search results list, and right at the very top will probably be the right one. So let's try it. Hey Siri, open website covidtest.gov.
Okay, I found this on the web for open website covidtest.com. Check it out.
So if you do a 2-finger swipe up, it'll start reading the results.
Calendar, Tuesday, February
Maybe
15th.
not. Go there.
Covidtests.gov. Free at home COVID-19 tests. 20,000 plus free testing sites. No cost antigen and PCR COVID-19 tests are available to everyone in the U.S.
So that sounds like our
including the uninsured.
guy. So I'll double tap on that search result.
Covidtests.gov. Safari button.
And yes, it is. I recognize
available.
this screen and this link. There's a link down here,
Order free at home tests.
and it'll take us to that screen we
Link.
were on before where we enter our information. So there's 2 ways to do it. Open website covidtest.gov, select the first item in the search results, take you there, or you can go and do that manually in the address bar in Safari. So that's 2 ways to get there. Very good site. Thanks, Barbara, for reminding me about this, by the way. So, okay. Any questions on that? If not, we will move on to the next thing. Let's see here.
Opening and usage. Actions available. Covidtest.gov. Opening and usage. New contact from phone call. Actions
Okay,
available.
we're going to review one item, creating a contact from a phone call. So I'm going to show you real quickly.
Calendar.
We might have talked about this before, but it's always good to review this kind of stuff because you may find it necessary on your next phone call you get from a new doctor or whoever, and you want to store that information without having to type in all the stuff. So let's go into, so we're going to open up the phone app. Open phone. Oh, hey Siri. Open phone.
Selected. Phone. All.
Okay, so the phone app has 5 tabs across the bottom. We're going to go to the second one called Recent, and that is all of your recent calls coming in and going out. So I'm going to navigate down to the tab bar down here.
Chica Green. Outgoing. Cancel. Tab bar. Selected. Recent.
Recents, there it
tab.
is, okay?
2 of 5. Selected. Recents. Tab.
So in the Recents list, outside the header part, you're going to have a list of your recent calls. That's also, by the way, governed by whatever filter you have in place, I believe. So you can hear
Selected. All.
all
Button. 1 of 2. Missed.
or
Button.
the missed calls, the calls that that came in but you didn't pick up on. Okay, so I usually have it on all because I want to see everything that came in and went out in case I need to check a time or something. So if I want to create a, I don't know, a contact from one of these calls, I'll just have to find one to do it. So let's go down the list here real quick.
Tom and Bobby. Spam risk.
Oh, we don't want to create one from that. It's not spam risk. Let's go down a little bit.
Rose Ward to 10 of 1 plus 1 5 2 0.
Okay. There's a number. So whenever you see a number in your recents list, that means it does not know who it is. That means it's just giving you the number that came across. Sometimes the number doesn't come across. Sometimes it's unknown. Sometimes it's tagged as spam risk or telemarketer. But this is a number. I don't know who it is or what it is, but we're going to play like it's somebody that we want to add to our contacts. Let's pretend pretend his name is Dr. Bob. We'll do that. So if I want to create a contact from this number and call it Dr. Bob, all I have to do is select it first, like we just did, and then I'm going to swipe up until I hear more information.
More info.
More info right there.
+1 5 2.
The more info gives you the options for this phone number. So we're going to go down to the option that says to create a contact or add one, whatever it's called. So let's go down the list a little bit.
Tucson message button.
So Tucson, it knows it's a Tucson number because it had the 520 prefix. So here we go. And of course, the second 3 digits brought it into the Tucson area because 520 goes all the way down to southern Arizona too. So we'll keep going.
Call, video, mail, pay, yesterday, 9/12 share contact, create new contact.
That's where you do it, create new contact. So I'm gonna double tap on that.
Text field is editing.
Okay, it automatically puts you into the first name field. That doesn't mean that you have to just put the first name there. If you just want to get it done quickly, you could put the first and last name, you could put any prefixes or suffixes, all in that field. It'll still find it just as well if they're, even if they were divided into different fields. The only thing is, if you put the full name into the one field, you can't really sort well by last name if you put the last name in the first name field. So I don't know if that makes any sense, but I'm just going to throw the name in there just for fun, just to show you you can create these guys. So I'm going to dictate the name Dr. Bob. Dr. Bob.
Inserted Dr. Bob.
Now I'm looking at the screen. I can just barely see it. When it did the doctor, it didn't spell out the word doctor. It put DR. So it knows when to abbreviate things and stick it in the field. So right now in the field, it's DR space Bob. I don't know if there's a period there. I can't tell, but probably is. Now, if I want to save that contact, I would hit up here on the upper right.
Done button.
Done. If I hit that, I'll have a new contact named Dr. Bob. And what it'll do, it'll create the contact. And then when we go back to the recent screen, that 520 number will no longer say that. It'll say Dr. Bob. So let's do that just for fun.
Done button. Edit. Recents.
So we're going to go back to the recents.
Recents. Recent. Selected. All. Button. 1 of 2.
All right, go right here.
Dr. Bob. Incoming. Missed. 1 call.
So Dr.
Phone.
Bob, I missed his call. And that's how you create a contact. And of course it uses the number, it keys off the number, incoming phone number. So if Dr. Bob has many phone numbers, you won't catch all of them here. You're going to catch the one that came in. Because there's some medical facilities that call you from different phone numbers and it's one facility, which is kind of weird. So yes, that works if the doctor has one number. Otherwise, you have to create more Dr. Bobs for the different phone numbers. Any questions on that? All right. So let's try.
Broadcast schedule for Sun Sounds. Actions available.
One thing that Barbara and I were talking about yesterday was getting to the broadcast schedule for Sun Sounds. And for those of you who don't know, Sun Sounds it's a service out there, a free service that for people who can't read, they'll speak the content, they'll read the content for you. Newspapers, movies, whatever, interviews, all kinds of stuff. So if you want to figure out what's coming on, you can go to their website and look at their broadcast schedule. Now, I'm going to tell you right up front, I don't mean to be mean. I love these guys at Sun Sounds, but this website is, well, it's less than spectacular, and you'll see why. So I'm going to go into it now and show you how to get to the broadcast schedule, okay? So let's get out of my Dr. Bob stuff.
Calendar, Tuesday.
I'm going to use Siri to do that. So, hey Siri, open website sunsounds.org.
Okay. I found this on the web for open website sunsounds.org. Check it out. Sun Sounds of Arizona. Sun Sounds links. Ellipsis.
Here we go.
Or member serve. Sun Sounds of Arizona. Sun Sounds links. Skip to main content. In-page link.
We'll let it finish so I don't miss anything here, because with my luck, I'll start going down and it won't be there. So the site is set up, while it's loading, the site's set up pretty good on the very top part. The very top left of the site has this on now, and it's whatever is streaming now. And that's kind of nice. And then it's got their logo that takes you home, and then it's got all the options below that. It's down in this options below their logo that is really, it's kind of weird. So let me start down there. Let me see if we can get down there.
Logo of figure reading a book. Return to the home
So,
page for Sun Sounds.
That's their
Link.
logo.
Image.
So we're going to go down to where we need to
Other.
be.
Donate. Lit. Search form. Search. Names on Sun Sounds links. List start. Apply for service. Apply to volunteer. Link. Names on Sounds menu. Pop-up button. And
Okay, so
navigation.
you got to go to this link that's buried down halfway down the page called Sun Sounds menu link or whatever it's called. Not to be confused with this thing right above it.
Names on Sounds menu. Heading level 2. Link. Navigation.
So that's a link as well, but that's not the correct link. You have to go down to the second link that talks about the menu. That's the first weirdness in this this whole thing. So we'll go down there.
Sun Sounds links. Heading level 2. Names on Sounds menu.
So it's called,
Pop-up button. And navigation.
so on the main screen, the main Sun Sounds menu is where you want to go to get to the next thing. So let's do that.
Names on Sounds menu. Button.
So the main Sun Sounds menu is a pop-up. And I think the very first one is where we need to go. So let's see what the first item in the pop-up menu is.
Selected. Names on Sounds menu. Button. Broadcast info and audio. Button.
Broadcast info and audio, that's where you go.
Web page loaded. Logo of figure reading.
Okay, and it always puts you on the logo. That's kind of good, at least you know where you're sitting. And then we have to scroll down to where we want to go. So let's go down a little bit.
Donate. Search form. Search. Names on Sounds menu. 2. Heading level 2. Sun Sounds of Arizona programming is to programming links. List start. Listen live. Link.
So listen live, you can tap into one of the 3 streams, one from Tucson or the one from Tempe or the one from Flagstaff. That's what that one is. So we keep going.
On demand podcasts.
Never been to their podcast section, but I'm sure it's just a list of podcasts that you can get to. And then I think the one we're looking for is the next one.
Broadcast schedule. Link.
So
List
broadcast
end.
schedule. So to review, you come into Sun Sounds, you find the main menu link, the second one, not the second one that talks about the menu, not the first one. You in the pop-up, you go to broadcast information, then you get to this one. So you see what's happening here. We've already gone like 4 steps and we're still taking more steps to get to the program. So let's keep going. I'm going to tap on this broadcast thing.
Broadcast schedule.
Schedule.
Link. List. Broadcast. Skip to main content. In-page link. Search.
Okay,
Button.
so let's keep going down there.
Names on Sounds. Program schedule. Sunday. Link. Article.
Then you got to pick a day. So it's not in a big list, like puts you right on today's date, and then you can move up or down. It just puts the days of the week, which might be okay. So let's pick a day here. I don't know which one. The very first day is this one,
Sunday, link,
Sunday.
article, Monday, Tuesday, link, Wednesday.
Let's see what's on
link.
tomorrow. I assume this is tomorrow. It doesn't give a date. It just says Wednesday. I don't know if that's last Wednesday, this Wednesday, or next Wednesday. So let's do that.
Wednesday. Link, skip to main content. In-page search. Main song set Wednesday. Wednesday. Arc Wednesday. Heading level 1. Main. Landmark.
So we're on Wednesday, I hope. That's what it says. So let's see what's happening on Wednesday.
Wednesday. Article. Landmark. Wednesday morning.
So Wednesday morning is another.
6:30 a.m. Sun City News.
So it's a big list. I'll do two more just so you know it's a list.
7 a.m. Historian. 7:30 a.m. Are we there yet?
So it's just a big list. It has the start time, and then the name of the program. That's actually a very good way of displaying that information. So so that's how you get to that. And I'll put all this in the notes. I know it took me a long time to get here because I was talking between everything and it was clicking, but I'll have a real clear path in the notes to you. It'll have the exact names of the links and all this good stuff. So outside of that, it's a real good service. And you can get it on your Echo device, or you can listen on the phone, or you can listen like we're trying to do here. We can go to Safari and just click on one of the feeds if we want to. So there you go. That's pretty much it for my Sun Sounds.
Manny,
Yeah.
on the A lady, you just say enable Sun Sounds of Arizona. And then
Oh,
it'll
really?
ask
That's how you
you
do it.
which stream you want.
Yes, because Sun Sounds, if I wanted to get their feeds on the A Lady, they're offered by a service called TuneIn. There's many services out there, but TuneIn's what they went with. So if you don't find it by enabling it should do it, but if you have a problem, you could say play Sun Sounds on TuneIn to force the issue. Otherwise, it should find it automatically.
Oh, we've had good luck with the enable.
Okay, that's good. Well, then that's all you need to do is just say enable. Then. Okay, any more questions on
And then
Sunset?
they do the Arizona Star from noon to 1 o'clock every day.
I also heard they do a Friday night movie or something. I
Right.
heard that they actually play the audio. Is
Right,
that
and it's
true?
audio described.
Yeah.
So this week it's going to be that movie Splash.
Oh, I like that movie. Yes. All right, well, let's see what's next on my list.
Oh, Manny,
Yes,
it's Maggie.
Hi, Maggie.
The nice thing with Sun Sounds, they will get and read you newspapers from any place in the United States. You don't have to just do Tucson. They'll hook in and say, I want the Chicago Tribune. And they'll read it.
That's nice. I didn't know that. Thank you, Maggie. Wow. Do they read the USA Today?
Well, I've got an app for USA Today on my phone, but I would think they would.
Yeah, just curious, because that's amazing. I'm impressed. So, all right, well.
Yeah, I've got a free app for the USA Today.
I want to look into that. Okay, thanks.
Siri and calendars. Actions available.
One thing I wanted to go over, there's one that's on the list and then one I'm just thinking of right now that kind of goes with it. There are a few great applications on your phone that you can work with by just using your voice. And the first one is calendars. I don't know how many of you use calendars, or you might use paper calendars or another system, but your phone is probably the best calendar you're ever going to find. And you can completely automate your calendar just by using your voice. So there's three things you can do with the calendar. Well, basically 3 things. You can add an appointment or an event. You can modify or edit an appointment or event, or you can remove or delete an appointment or event. And your phone, because it's always on time, it never needs to be set, the clock is always working, will always let you know when your calendar events are due. In fact, that's how I kind of run my scheduling on the business that I have with my students. I could never keep track of that any other way. I put all my appointments in the phone, and it has never failed me. The only time it's failed me is when I forgot to put the appointment in. And that's just me. I'd rather it be on me than something else. So it's got a 100% accuracy on my calendars. So if you want to create an appointment, and I don't really need to demo it, I'll just tell you what to say. It's real simple. You just say add or create new appointment titled, and then you give it a name. So it could be this, create new appointment titled Dr. Bob. If you give it that, it will then ask you for the date and time. And all you do is give it the date and time. And you can give it, 2/8/2022 at noon, or you could say next Monday or this Monday. So, and this Monday would be 6 days from now, okay? Next Monday would be 13 days from now. So this and next are very important distinctions, okay? This Monday is the one that's coming up. The next one is the one after that, just so you know. So if I'm doing a Dr. Bob appointment for Thursday, let's say, and I want it to be this Thursday, 2 days from now, I would do it this way. I would say, create new appointment titled Dr. Bob. Then it would ask me for the date and time. And I would say, this Thursday. If I wanted it to be Thursday of next week, I would say next Thursday. And of course, you give it a time or time range. So if you give it a time, it's going to put a 1 hour appointment in by default, unless you put an ending time in. So if I say, create new appointment titled Dr. Bob, and I say this Thursday, and then it asks me for the time, I'd say noon to 2:30. It'll go from 12 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. If I don't say 2:30, it'll be 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. So it's pretty nifty, and it's pretty easy once you get it down. Then you can start adding stuff in too. You can say, give it a location. You could say new appointment, create a new appointment titled Dr. Bob at Desert Low Vision. And when it reads it back to you for confirmation, it'll say, your appointment called Dr. Bob at Desert Low Vision is this Thursday at noon. It'll confirm that. So if you needed to edit that appointment for Dr. Bob, once it's created, you can go in and say, Siri, edit appointment titled Dr. Bob on Thursday. It'll ask you, what do you want to change? And I'll say location. And you would say, and if she would say, what's the new location? And I'll say doctor's office. Or I could say change the date, or change the time, or change the title. Any piece of that information I could update. And then once you do that, she'll read it back to you to be sure it's okay. And then she'll say, is this correct? Do you want to save it? Or do you want me to update it? And you say yes. If you say no, it's left as is. Then of course, if you want to delete or remove a calendar item, an appointment, you would say delete appointment Dr. Bob on Thursday. If it's only one appointment for Dr. Bob in the future, you don't even have to say Thursday, it'll find it. But I said Thursday, so it'll look on Thursday for it. And if it finds it, it'll say, are you sure you want to delete this appointment or remove it from your calendar? And you'll say yes or no. If you say yes, it's gone. No, it stays. And that's basically how you automate your calendar. And your calendar will always let you know about your appointments at whatever designated alert times that you've set. And we've talked about that before, You go to settings, calendars, and go to default alert times. And then your appointments are in one of those categories. And you can set it up for hours or days or week to notify you of upcoming appointments. So that's kind of a nice thing with calendars. If you're not doing that already, I would strongly suggest starting to use the phone. Trust the phone with this. Maybe if you're using a paper calendar for now, just use them in parallel for a while until you trust it. And then you can stop using the paper after a certain period of time. And your phone
Hey,
will always,
Manny,
yeah.
I have to tell you, I love my phone for making doctor's appointments. Couldn't live without it.
I'm with you. I'm the same way with everything I do. I couldn't live without it. In fact, because I'm running a business and I have students, I bought a second iPhone as a backup. It's right here. It's got my notes on it for this class. So if this one goes south somehow, I got this one still. So that's how nutty I am about it. So another thing that you can do that is completely controlled by your voice. Another handy thing are lists. So let's say a grocery list, for example. You can tell your phone through Siri, you can say, add apples to my grocery list. If your grocery list is not on there yet, like it's a brand new list, it will say, I didn't find grocery list. Would you want me to create it? And you go, yeah. And then she will create a thing called grocery list, and she'll put an item in there called apples. Now, in this context of lists and reminders, they're sort of synonymous of the same thing. I know that reminders means something totally different than lists, but in this context, they are exactly the same thing, okay? So I'm gonna call them lists because that to me sounds better than reminders, okay? So once you create a list, you can then start adding to it. And you use the same verbiage when you want to add. So let's say you want to add, I don't know, bananas to the list. You would say to Siri, you would add bananas to my grocery list. And then she'll just do it. And she'll confirm that she did it. And then, I don't know, carrots, you can add a few more items, just one at a time. And then if you wanted to review your list, like say what's on your list, you could ask her, Siri, what is on my grocery list? And she will read each item, apples, bananas, carrots. And then when you're ready to remove anything on the list, it's not delete, which is funny. It's called marking the items. So the way you tell it is you tell Siri, mark apples as complete on my grocery list, and apples will be removed from your list. And that's how you do the 3 functions for lists. So when you go to the store next time, you might want to give it a shot. Have your paper list if that's what you use, or your memory, but you can also do it with your phone, and you can always add to it at any time. And then if you remember something, you can just add it at the moment, and it'll be there when you go to the store and you need to use it. So that's kind of
Manny,
my-
I use
Manny?
it for a to-do list, and I've been enjoying that. I have all the things I need to do. on
That's a good point, Barbara. I spoke about using it for groceries, but it doesn't care what you put on the list. You could put groceries, you could put chainsaws on there, you could put people's names. They're just lists. That's all they are. It doesn't matter what they are.
And the
So-
advantage of that now is you could put a phone number on your to-do.
oh yeah, yeah.
So if you wanted to put a phone number really quick and didn't want to write it down, that would be a good place to put it.
Yeah. So any questions on calendars or lists? I really encourage the group to look into those, because those are really almost as important as email, the email app, in my opinion. But so
Manny,
yes,
Maggie,
hi, Meg.
along this line of list, if any of you guys do your shopping with delivery, and Safeway, for instance, will give you a 4-hour shopping thing for $3.50. They deliver it, bring it right into your kitchen. They have on their new app updated it so you can call back in and change a list. They also will read back to you what you bought before or what you bought now. And you can adjust or change everything. So if you decide, you know, I bought something in June, but I don't remember it, you can ask them, read back the list from June. And it's great for groceries because it's all right there.
That's amazing. That's Safeway, right? You said Safeway?
Yeah. Remember
Yeah.
we were talking about it and the new app, they've updated the app and it's great. And then they'll tell you, you can add or delete to this list up to 2 hours before delivery.
That's amazing. That's
And
pretty
for
good.
$3.95, that's, you know,
Well, I can tell you that when I order from Fry's, which is the place I order from, which I might be changing in light of this information, I spend $10 on Instacart for them to pick it. And then I have to give them like a little more money. I think it turns out to be around $15 above and beyond the price of the groceries, which is still a bargain for me because I don't have to pick it and I don't have to carry it. I just bring it in. But Safeway sounds like even better, like a better deal.
it does. I like it better than all of the others because I have yet to have anything bad. And they have a thing when you're making your list, say, I want blueberries. They'll have on there, do you want a substitute or do you want same brand, just different price? They give you
Right.
the different options. And the whole thing, it would cost me more to go on the van over to the grocery store and then go in.
That's
And
right.
this whole thing is just, it's fantastic. And they've got a help button. If you get hopelessly lost, you call the help button. And they'll say, okay, they'll look up your list. What did you want to do? How can we help you?
Wow.
And you can
So
get it if
maybe-
you want it within 2 hours. You pay more, like you do at Fry's, but this is $3.95 with a 4-hour window. And they call you when they're packing it. They call you when it started, so that you're kept updated. You pick the day and the time.
Wow. So you had mentioned earlier, tell me if I heard this right. They actually bring it into the house for you and put it on your counter or on your tabletop or
Yep.
whatever?
Yep.
Wow, that's pretty good.
And if you want to, okay, I got some stuff delivered today. And I said, do you know which packages are the cold? Would you put the frozen over where I can feel them? They separated out. They put all the stuff with frozen food over on one side. So I knew what to put away first.
That's good. Wow. Thanks for that. That's great information for me in the group. Yeah. Oh. Well, that's great. All right, let's see what else we got.
Do they use Instacart?
No, they have
Or-
their own people.
Okay, I just wondered. Thank you.
Hmm.
Voiceover gesture practice.
Okay, if there's no more questions about that or Safeway, because that was a nice piece of information, Maggie. Thank you very much for that.
Mhm.
I think Barbara wanted me to go over how to get to the voiceover practice. The voiceover utility is what it's called, actually. So there's a few ways to do that. I'll show you the what I think is the easiest way, and if you guys want alternate ways, we could do it that way too. So
8:22 p.m.
let me open this up.
Safari. Skip to main cap.
Okay. So what I do when I want to get to voiceover, the voiceover practice utility, there's a few ways to get there. There's this gesture that I'm not even going to show you because I can barely do the gesture myself, and I'm pretty good with gestures. So it's a ridiculous gesture. It's like 3 fingers 4 times or 4 fingers so many times. I forget how many times it was.
It's 4 fingers twice.
4 fingers twice. So you got to make sure that all 4 of your fingers hit the screen at the same time in rapid succession. And that will bring it up. But I think it's hard that way because I'm lazy. But there's another way of doing it, and you can use Siri. So what I do is I tell it to open the voiceover practice utility. So, hey Siri, open the voiceover practice utility.
Settings, accessibility, back button.
So what it does, it doesn't open the utility itself because it's not really an app. It's kind of tucked away in the settings area. So what they do is they got me to the area in settings where it lives. So when it does that, it opens up the voiceover settings, and all you got to do is swipe to the right a few times to get to the button that launches the utility. So I'll try to count how many times I have to do this. So let me see.
Voiceover, tap on, double tap to learn more, voiceover practice.
So from where it lands initially, which is the back button, you got to swipe to the right 7 times, I believe, with one finger, and you land right on the button. And if you didn't hear that, this is what it said.
Voiceover practice, button.
So if you tap on that,
Settings.
it opens it up.
Practice voiceover gestures, commands, and typing in this area. Practice voiceover gestures, touch, speak item.
So everything that you do, physical interaction gesture, it's going to tell you what you did, and then it's going to tell you what its typical use is for. So if I touch the screen, here's what it says.
Touch, speak item.
So that means I put my finger on an item on the screen, it's going to speak it. If I want to swipe to your right, my left, sorry, with one finger, this is what it says.
Touch, speak item.
Oh, I didn't do it right.
One finger swipe right, move to next item.
You see that? So it not only gives you feedback on your gestures that you're doing them correctly, but it tells you what they're used for. And and if I do like a double tap.
One finger double tap, activate.
So that means if I'm on a button or a link and I double tap it, it activates that link. If I'm on a heading, it just stays on the heading because a heading is not an active element. If I swipe up with one finger, let's see what it says there.
One finger swipe up, previous rotor item.
So your rotor menu, we talked about that before. So speaking rate, words, characters, and all that. Or if you're on an item, like an email or a text message, the rotor then changes to delete more info and things like that. The 2-finger swipe up.
2-finger swipe up, read from top.
Okay, 3-finger swipe up.
3-finger swipe up, scroll down.
So anyway, you can practice gestures. And if you guys would like, I can publish like the top 10, 15 gestures that you'll use 99% of the time. And you can just practice them and get good at it because it's a physical motor memory thing, but it's also knowing how and when to use these gestures, depending on where you're at. So, and the way you get out of this is there's a gesture area where we do the gestures, but at the very top right of the screen, there's going to be a finish or done button. We go up there and we double tap that and then we're done. So let me go up there.
Touch, done, button.
Done button. And then it takes you back to the previous screen where the button was to get to it. The button is this one here.
Voiceover practice, button.
In the settings menu. So that's kind of how that works. All right, let's see, we have anything else? Let's see here. Any questions about the voiceover practice utility? Okay.
Manny, you've only got 3 minutes. Why don't you see if anybody has any questions?
Voiceover gesture.
Okay, I think that's it. I think I hit the end of my list, so we're good. So if anybody, like Barbara said, if anybody has any questions about what we went over or anything else I can answer, I'd be happy to do so. So shoot away if you have any questions. If not, have a moment of silence.
Annie had one.
Okay.
Are you
What
there,
was-
Annie?
Yes, I'm here. What did I have?
You asked me how to do the code on the TV, the whatever code. is.
Oh, I'm hearing more and more about the QR code. Would that be something important for us to learn?
Yeah, I have a surface knowledge of that. Let me get my ducks in a row on that one. And I'll bring a QR code that we can practice with, and I'll tell you what it's all about. You know how like I normally do, I over explain it. So you really got it. So I'll
Good.
make sure I'll
Good,
make sure
because-
that you'll,
Thank you. I appreciate that. Just, I may not use it, but I like to know it because I'm hearing about it.
yeah, there's a lot of things I'd like to talk about with the new technology. So yes, I'm always eager to do that. So thank you, Annie.
Manny?
Yes.
Manny,
Oh, I'm
Manny,
sorry.
I'm sorry. Manny, what I can tell you is the QR code is a verification code that you use to access certain venues, items, applications. I think that's what it is. That's what I'm guessing at this point because I've used it before.
Mhm.
But you can let us know what you learn.
Thank you, Shirley. That's really informative. I'm going to keep that in my mind when I'm looking at it and looking for use case scenarios. So I appreciate that information.
Manny?
Now,
This is
Manny, you use
Nancy.
the camera. You turn your camera on and set it toward it.
I tried
I
that.
believe that's the case. Yes.
And
I
it
believe it'll read
doesn't work.
automatically, but I want to verify that. Yeah. Sorry, who was that? Nancy? I'm sorry, did I interrupt you?
Yes, dear. I wanted to mention that it's wonderful to call Apple accessibility when you really need an answer quickly and now, you know.
Yes.
They can be very helpful, and sometimes you have to get the right person, but it can be very helpful.
It's in their best interest to keep us happy. So yes, call them when you need. If I can't answer the question, absolutely call them or ask us both and see what the differences are.
It's like the AirPod. I mean, not the AirPods, the HomePod, you know.
Yeah.
Ah,
So you can put that Apple accessibility number right in your contact.
That's right.
Oh, yes, I have it in mind. Okay.
and there's
I'm
an
going-
accessibility number for Alexa as well.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh, now she answered. There's
Sorry, the
there's
one in the living
Apple.
room is computer.
I'm saying good night, guys.
Well,
See
good
you
night,
soon.
Good night,
Annie.
guys.
Thank you.
Good
Good
night,
night,
Annie.
Gracie.
Thank you so much, Manny.
Thank you, guys. It's been really
Thank you,
wonderful.
Manny. You're so patient.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
no
came in
problem.
just in
Good night,
time, I
Manny.
guess.
Good night,
Yeah,
everybody.
Okay, John, I
Good
guess
night, everyone.
you can pull the
Yeah.
plug whenever you're ready.
And the A lady said nighty night.
Nighty night.
Take care, everybody.
Thank you.
See you Friday.
Hang on,
Thank you,
let me just-
John.
Hang on.